Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Lovely to see you all. So I've arrived in Prague. I had a lovely journey coming from London today, and I've already caused lots of problems. First one was in the taxi just now, I managed to leave my phone in the taxi. Second problem was that I've added some slides to my presentation, and I've caused the technical team a bit of difficulty, but that's what I do. Wherever I go, I create problems, so I'm very sorry about that. So I'm very proud and privileged to be here with you all, to be speaking to you about Namaste. It's a beautiful venue, and it's lovely to be here. So let me start by telling you a little bit about myself. So my mum and dad both came to England in 1970. They came to work for the NHS, the National Hospital Service in the UK. So after working as nurses, they decided to start one of the first care homes in London. And we all lived together in one room at the top of the house. So I grew up with 5 grandmas and 5 grandpas. We were a family together. My mum would make food for all of us. We would eat together. My friends would come to play with me. We would be together as a family. So I never appreciated this when I was younger, but this was an amazing education for me, not just in how to look after people, but in the whole of my life I can apply those things that I learnt. So over the years, my parents acquired other care homes, and I went to join them officially 16 years ago. Over that time, we've looked at lots of different things, and in particular, I have a real focus on technology, and we've created systems to help us record what we're doing with the people we look after, and the families can also log into that system and see what's going on and have interaction in that way. So in my care group, we have a real focus on people and spreading love, spreading happiness. And I think it's really important that every home looking after people will have the same or similar approach. We look after people of all different levels. Some people may be very independent. They just need some extra support, and others may be towards the end of their life. One of our key phrases and mission statements that we use is, we laugh, we sing, we care from the heart. Creating a community within your care homes is really important so that everybody feels involved and connected. So here's some of the photos of some of the fun that we have with our residents, how we look after them. And yeah, it's really nice to share these memories and these lovely times that we have. So in England and in London, I don't know if you have the same problem. We have a very negative perception of care in the UK. So as we get older, we often see that as a disappointment. In the culture that my parents come from, we celebrate as we get older. And I think it's important to change this cultural perception in Europe, in the West. We're always like, oh, I'm another year old, or I'm 40 this year, or whatever it might be. So I think it's important to change that. The other thing that we have is younger people do not want to work in care homes. It's not cool. It's not nice to tell your friends, oh, I'm working in a care home, because it doesn't have the credibility of other jobs. Is this a problem here? So another thing that we aim to do with Namaste is to change that perception, to make it cool to look after people. In the news, these are the images that we see in England. the abuse, the negative things. It's smelly. People don't want to be there. It's the last job that you can get. So we see Namaste as a solution to this problem. So what does Namaste mean? Namaste in Asian culture is a greeting when you're saying hello or you're saying goodbye. But the true meaning is something deeper than this. The word Namaste actually means I honor the spirit within you. I see you. I see Simona. And Simona sees Rishi. And Simona is different from Rishi. So each individual has a spirit and needs to be seen and recognized. The power of positive human connection. We're so focused on all the tasks we need to do. We need to help somebody go to the bathroom. We need to help somebody eat their food. But are we giving them the quality of attention to connect with them? To love somebody is to listen. So Namaste was created by this amazing lady, Joyce Simard. She has had a long professional history in looking after older people. She's worked all over the world. She's written a number of amazing books, and she's an inspirational leader. So Namaste was created in 2003 when Joyce was working in an older people's home. The families were asking for more interaction with the people that were staying there. Some families would come and visit their relatives and would just see people sitting in chairs, staring at a screen without any connection, any interaction. So Joyce came up with a plan to find activities that could engage with people. She found that if she created a space, even for 30 minutes, where we weren't going to the bathroom, we weren't doing some of the other tasks during the day, and we were just focusing on that individual, after a very short time, she could see the positive impact of this and how the residents were changing. Now, Joyce is in her 80s now. So, Joyce, we should celebrate the fact that she's this age. So, as she's getting older, she is so excited by the growth of Namaste. From starting in 2003 in a small care home in America, we're now all over the world, and here I'm talking to you in Prague, and this is amazing for Joyce. So what are the basic principles of Namaste? So the principles are to create a calm environment, providing activities and interactions in an unhurried way. Namaste is a very easy program to follow. It doesn't cost money. So therefore, I don't see why everyone should be practicing Namaste. Joyce's original intention was to focus on people towards the end of their life. But in recent years, we've been working with Namaste with younger people, even with babies, with children with special needs. So I think there's a very wide appeal to Namaste. So here are some of the main aims of what we try to do at Namaste Care International. One of the points I want to pick out here is the last one, to help cure loneliness for older and isolated people. We have people in London, in England, in Czech Republic, in Singapore, all over the world, that are dying of loneliness. So, in my homes, every day at 10:30 is time for Namaste. By maintaining a regular time, your body has a clock. Sometimes, even without my alarm, I'm already awake. So by repeating Namaste at 10:30 every day, the body remembers. This is a very important point to keep consistency. By doing this, the body, the mind, becomes used to that practice at that time. We darken the lights at Namaste time. We infuse lavender into the room for smell. We play some lovely, relaxing music to create the atmosphere. So as each person comes into the space at the same time, their body already feels relaxed. Then each person would have an individual working with them. So I might be working with František, and I might do something like a hand massage. And then Simona might be working over here, and she might be doing something with flowers. So you have to find things unique to the individual, unique to your country, unique to your culture. This individual way of looking at each person is the key to creating that connection. So it's important for all of us here, even my father, who's taught me everything, he would say he never stops learning. When we travel, when we observe, we learn so much that we can bring back into our own homes and our own countries. I went on an amazing trip to America and spent some time in a Buddhist temple. Here is the temple.
Tak to je ten chrám.
When I was going for a run in the morning, and I know Simona likes running as well, yeah. So I would take photos. And it was a really special time because we were very much in an isolated area. Now, I'm not Buddhist. I'm not religious, really. But I do love religion. But again, what we learnt in that time, staying with the monks, eating with the monks, was, again, the importance of loving yourself. If you can't love yourself, how can you love someone else? So we've lost my slides temporarily, but I will continue. Okay, we had an amazing time in this temple. I traveled around different care homes to see the type of care that was given in America. So these are some of my friends. We were all eating together. It was something very unusual for me. Even my family thought, what am I doing? Has he gone crazy? Now, this gentleman on this side, on the right-hand side in the purple shirt, his name is Michael Verdi, Dr. Michael Verdi. And he was the person that invited me and a number of other dementia specialists from around the world. So we focused a lot on what happens to people as they get older and how society views them. We want people to live and not to just exist. So another amazing American lady is called Naomi Fell. Just watch this short clip.
Jenom se podívejte na tento krátký klip.
So this lady is a lady called Gladys Wilson. Everybody gave up on her. They said, we cannot reach her. She would sit alone in her room isolated. Nobody could connect with her. Now, unfortunately, you can't hear the sound at the moment. But Naomi sits opposite Gladys. She is a mirror to Gladys. She starts to stroke her face. Gladys's hands are tight, and Naomi starts to relax her hands. Naomi knows that Gladys was singing in the church. So Naomi starts to sing some church music. This lady, who hasn't spoken a word for years, then begins to sing with Naomi. I've got the whole world in my hand. That's what she's singing. And she never sang before. She's gone back to her childhood, and Naomi has connected with her. Gladys, when she looks at Naomi, she sees her mother singing with her. I really recommend everybody going to YouTube and looking at this clip, because showing it to your teams that you work with, when you hear the music, you see the response. It changes something inside you. So another thing I learnt on my trip to America was Dr. Michael Verdi. He worked at the Anthropology Institute. Him and a group of students went to study a group of 30 apes. So these students, for this time, were watching the apes. They had paper in front of them. Every time there was a movement, a head nod, scratching, they would notate it. They gave each ape a name so that they could refer to who was who. And after some time, they weren't just apes. You could see the individual characteristics within them. Now, in our society today, in the ape society, the structure is of a pyramid. There is somebody at the top. So, we've got OP at the top. He was the king of the apes. He was right at the top of the pyramid. Now, his lady, or one of his ladies, was Desdemona. Okay? But Desdemona was his favorite. So she was very clever because she positioned herself with the highest ranking male. So, Archie was at the bottom. And Archie, he liked Desdemona. He also liked the thought of power and being at the top of the pyramid. Now, anyone at the top of the pyramid knows that their time there is limited. At any moment, a younger, stronger male can come and try to take his place. So Archie comes along. He has a fight with OP, and he wins. But when Archie gets to the top, Desdemona, the clever lady, is still near there with him. But what happens to OP?
Ale co se stane OPmu?
Boris Johnson. Anyone at the top of the pyramid, once they leave there, is there any coming back? Does he go to the bottom? No. He's outside because Archie will not let him to come back into his pyramid. When we get older, when we forget someone, they move outside the pyramid. And how can they come back? So we need to move away from this pyramid. We need a new approach which doesn't have a hierarchy. We need a more fluid structure. This is the body. Now, if our society could work to be in this structure, where a hand cannot move without an elbow, the head cannot turn without the neck, everything is connected. I might be an elbow, Simona might be a hand. We all have a role to play in the bigger body. So, I wanted to highlight that point to bring home some of the things that we do without realizing. We need to make time for the quality of attention. What we have found through Namaste is we have cured and stopped loneliness. We have reduced the need for harsh medication. So I challenge all of you to go back to your teams, to go back to your houses where you work. I want you to think of creating a community. It starts from the top. And any of you that are leaders of your organizations, it starts from you. If you don't set the example and give importance to Namaste and to the quality of attention, then the rest of your organization won't give it the importance. So I would like to, on my next visit to Prague, come to see some of you in the places that you work, and for you to show me that you've moved from this pyramid into a body. That even the leaders of the organization at 10:30 know it's Namaste time and they are getting involved. Now, it's been so lovely to talk to you today, and I absolutely love this venue and the atmosphere. I'm very lucky to be here, but all of you are very lucky for another reason. I'm very proud to call Simona my friend. I know many people all over the world that are in this profession, but here you have an inspirational woman who has done amazing things from very limited resources and with her own determination. In our community of Namaste that is across 13 countries all over the world, Simona is a key figure in our organization. Joyce and Simona are very close, and Joyce's husband is actually from Czech Republic. I am here to speak for Joyce. She is the real master. She's the one that's taught me and Simona. But now, the responsibility comes to you and everyone in this room. Do not lose this opportunity. Do not forget people as they get older. And I want everyone in this room to support Simona to spread this positive message across your beautiful country. One person can make a difference. Imagine what we can all do together. Thank you very much.
Děkuji.
In 10 years, I would like to be coming to Prague regularly. I would like to think that this could be a center of excellence for the rest of the world to follow. I would also like to see Namaste used in other settings, not just care homes, in schools, when we're working in corporate environments for team building days. Excellent. Yeah, that's a very good point that I didn't touch on. When we're doing Namaste at 10:30, there is a fight amongst the staff for who is going to be doing it. Because the environment is so relaxing for even us working in it. It's a beautiful space to be in.
Prožil.
I must also say one other thing, not just the staff, the families of the people that you're looking after. It's an amazing way to involve the family in the community of your home.
Takže moc krát děkuju. Díky.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.